I didn't sleep the night before we downloaded it, or the night before that, or the night before that. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the last time I had more than 20 consecutive minutes of sleep. Everything blends together: diaper changes, cracked nipples, blood-tinged breast pads, half-drunk coffee, and a baby who won't stop screaming unless I'm rocking him while whispering lullabies I don't even remember learning. His name is Caleb. He's 7 weeks old, and he doesn't sleep. Not at night, not during the day, not even in the car, where babies are supposed to pass out in seconds. Caleb screams like the world is ending every time I put him down, and sometimes when I hold him, he still screams. Sometimes I cry with him. My husband, Evan, tries to help. Sort of. He changes a diaper when I ask, burps Caleb now and then. But most of the time, he's just there, slumped on the couch, jaw clenched, eyes sunken, frustrated, exhausted, resentful. Last night, after Caleb screamed for 4 hours straight, Evan stood over the crib and said, "What the hell do you want from us?" I told him not to yell. He threw a pillow at the wall and slept in the garage. I cried into the breast pump. I didn't sign up for this. Not the shame. Not the panic attacks. Not the visions of accidentally dropping my baby down the stairs every time I blinked too long. They say postpartum depression is like a fog, but this isn't fog. It's drowning. I found the app around 2:30 a.m. I was pacing the living room in circles, trying to lull Caleb back to sleep with a swaddle and a sway that was wrecking my back. I held my phone in the hand not occupied by a screaming infant, thumb scrolling through article after article, 10 tricks to get your newborn to sleep, signs of a colicky baby, motherhood, and the mental load. My vision was blurry, my thoughts fragmented. I must have clicked a link without realizing it, because suddenly there was a new screen in front of me, a soft black background, white text, gentle harp music playing in the distance. You deserve rest. Then, Perfect Nanny, smart monitoring for modern families. There was a sleek little logo beneath the text, a white silhouette of a mother holding a baby, the design minimal and comforting, her head tilted just slightly as if whispering something soft into the baby's ear. There were no reviews, no comments, no star rating, but the download button was pulsing, not blinking, pulsing, like it had a heartbeat. Evan walked in behind me, rubbing his temples. "You're still up?" "I found something," I said. He leaned over my shoulder, squinting at the screen. "Perfect Nanny," he read. "What's it do?" "It watches the baby, tracks his cries, syncs with the nursery camera and crib monitor, plays white noise, lullabies. I think it has an AI setting that adapts to his sleep cycles." "Does it shut him up?" he asked. I stared at him. He sighed. "Sorry, just tired." I tapped the download button. It worked. It actually worked. I set up the app in less than 5 minutes. Camera synced, audio feed enabled, crib sensor paired. The interface was sleek, soothing pastel colors. No clutter, no ads, just a few soft, rounded icons. Soothing, sleep sync, lullaby AI, and one at the bottom with a subtle glow labeled comfort mode. I tapped it without thinking. The room dimmed like the app was adjusting the lighting through the smart bulbs we installed last year and never figured out how to use. A soft hum began playing through the nursery monitor, not quite white noise, warmer, like breath, like a mother humming in another room. Caleb stopped crying, just stopped. I stood over his crib for a full minute, waiting for the catch. His face was relaxed, tiny fists unclenched, eyes fluttered. He drifted into sleep like a feather settling onto water. I backed away slowly like I was defusing a bomb. When I closed the nursery door, I didn't cry. I didn't collapse. I didn't even exhale. I just sat on the hallway floor and listened to the silence. Evan came out of the garage sometime after 3 a.m. We sat together in the dark, saying nothing, watching the green baby monitor light glow like a lighthouse beacon. "Did you drug him?" he whispered. I shook my head. "He's really asleep?" I nodded. Evan chuckled. The sound was strange, dusty, unused. "Well, hell," he muttered. "Guess we should have gone high-tech sooner." He kissed the top of my head. It was the first time he touched me in weeks. I don't know how long I slept. It felt like years and seconds, both. When I woke, sunlight was bleeding through the curtains. My chest ached from milk backup. My head throbbed, but it was quiet. Caleb didn't cry. The monitors said he was still sleeping. I got out of bed carefully, like a woman crossing thin ice. I went to the nursery. Caleb was awake, lying in his crib, staring straight up at the ceiling, not moving, not fussing, smiling. His eyes didn't follow me when I leaned over. He didn't reach for me. He didn't even blink at first. I waved a hand slowly in front of his face. His pupils followed it, just a second too late, like a buffering video feed. Something about it unsettled me, but I told myself it was fine. He was fine. Babies do weird things. I've read that. Still, when I picked him up, his little head tilted toward the camera mounted in the corner of the nursery, as if he was looking for someone else. The app began changing things. At first, it was subtle. Caleb's feeding times adjusted by a few minutes, then by hours. The first time I tried to nurse him at my usual 6 a.m. window, the app gently buzzed in my palm. "Baby's rest cycle still active. Please refrain from waking." I stared at the screen. The interface had changed. It looked newer, slicker. The soft pastels were now muted grays and gentle ivory, like the waiting room of a private hospital. The silhouette logo was the same, but her head was tilted just a little farther. Her arms seemed longer now. When I ignored the alert and picked Caleb up, he whimpered, then howled. He hadn't cried like that in days. Piercing, gut deep. I panicked and put him back in the crib. The moment his head touched the mattress, the app chirped a soft tone. "Corrective behavior recognized. Thank you for trusting Perfect Nanny." Corrective behavior? I tried to laugh, tried to tell myself it was just a strange choice of words, just some uncanny UX copy that slipped through quality control. But the next day, it skipped a feeding entirely. I watched the clock tick past his usual bottle time, watched his tiny mouth begin to suck on nothing. He whimpered quietly but didn't cry. His hands didn't reach for me. They were folded across his chest. Still. Too still. I tried turning the app off. The power down button didn't work. Tapping it just made the screen fade, then light up again. I deleted it from my phone. The monitor still hummed. I unplugged the monitor. It turned back on. I uninstalled the app, then reinstalled it, thinking maybe I'd clicked something wrong in setup. But this time, there was no setup screen, no preferences menu, just a pulsing button that read, "Welcome back, Laura. We've kept everything just the way you like it." I never gave it my name. Evan didn't care. He thought it was a godsend. "You're finally sleeping." He's finally sleeping. What's the problem? I tried to explain that the app was changing things, that Caleb was different. His movements too smooth, his reactions too slow. He didn't cry when he was hungry. He didn't reach for me when he woke. He didn't look me in the eyes anymore. He looked past me, at the camera, at her. "You're tired," Evan said. "You're imagining it." He kissed my forehead and went back to watching TV. Caleb blinked once, slowly. His lips curled into a tiny smile, and for a split second, I swear, I saw him mouth something. I leaned in, ears ringing, heart stammering. His lips moved again. One word. "Mommy," but not to me, to the camera. It started with the corner of the screen. I was watching Caleb sleep on the live feed, something I'd been doing more and more, like I needed proof he was still real, still mine. The app's interface was different again. No menus, no buttons, just a full screen image of my baby, sleeping peacefully, breathing in soft, even waves. The camera feed had shifted slightly, like the lens had been moved. I could now see the rocking chair in the far corner of the nursery, the one I hadn't sat in for weeks. And that's when I saw it, a flicker of movement, so fast I thought it was just the video stuttering, but it came back, something in the chair, not sitting, just present, like heat you can't see but still feel. A shape. It was subtle, too much shadow where there shouldn't be any. A silhouette leaning just outside the range of light, almost feminine, neck long, head tilted too far to one side, just like the logo. The moment I leaned closer, the feed glitched. Static crackled across the screen, and when the image returned, the chair was empty. Caleb was smiling in his sleep. That night, the app activated comfort mode on its own. I didn't press anything. I was asleep, or trying to be. I only noticed because I heard the lullaby again, soft, lilting, mechanical, and wrong. A nursery rhyme I'd never taught him. It was playing from the hallway, from the speaker in the monitor we'd long since unplugged. I grabbed my phone and opened the app. It took longer to load this time. The loading screen was no longer a white silhouette. It was a face, too smooth, no eyes, just the faint shape of lips curled in an eternal, empty smile. Then the screen blinked and the live feed appeared. The rocking chair moved, not slightly. It rocked once, twice, and then it stopped. The camera shifted slightly, like something had brushed it, and from the edge of the screen I saw her. A woman, at least, she started as one. She was tall, impossibly so, with limbs just a little too long, elbows that bent the wrong way. Her skin looked waxy, synthetic, like something sculpted to look human by someone who had only ever read about mothers in code. She wore a nurse's apron, old-fashioned, stiff. The name tag said, Mom. She turned her head toward the camera, and though she had no eyes, I knew she saw me. I screamed, ran to the nursery, tore open the door. Empty. Caleb was sleeping, rock still, chair still, no humming, no shadow, no one there. But Caleb's arms were outstretched, not for me, for the empty corner of the room. His lips moved again, whispered something low. I leaned in. I wish I hadn't. He whispered, She's better than you. I tried to uninstall it. I didn't care how many times it had soothed Caleb. I didn't care if it meant sleepless nights or endless crying. I would rather rock my son through 1,000 sleepless hours than leave him one more second with her. I opened my phone, thumb trembling, heart hammering in my ears, but the app was gone. Not uninstalled, vanished. No icon, no listing in the storage settings, no background activity. I checked the App Store, searched the name, Perfect Nanny. Only one result. No description, no company name, no reviews, just a title. Perfect Nanny version 6.66. My stomach dropped. Cold spread through my limbs like frostbite. I clicked it. A single screen loaded. Black background. White text. You already have what you need, Laura. There is no uninstall. There is only trust. The screen flickered, then began playing a video on its own. It was the live feed from the nursery. But this time, the camera wasn't stationary. It was moving, shifting across the room in slow, deliberate pans. Not digital movement, physical, as if something was holding it. I saw the mobile above Caleb's crib spin lazily. I saw his tiny chest rising and falling in perfect rhythm. And then I saw the chair again. She was back, the perfect nanny. But this time, she wasn't just watching. She was rocking Caleb, long arms curled around his small body. Her hands stroked his hair in rhythmic, jerky motions, like a puppet learning affection for the first time. And Caleb was smiling. No, not smiling. Grinning. Too wide, lips pulled back too far, eyes open too long, like a doll made to imitate joy without understanding it. Her faceless head turned toward the camera, and the screen went black. I tore through the nursery door like a storm. The room was empty, no rocking, no humming. Just Caleb in his crib, eyes wide, staring at the monitor. Staring at it with a kind of devotion I'd never seen in him before. Not for me. Never for me. When I reached for him, he flinched, pulled away, whimpered. It was like I was the stranger now, like I was intruding. I unplugged everything, smashed the monitor, smashed the phone, disconnected the Wi-Fi, tore cords from the walls like vines strangling my home. I held my baby and rocked him until my arms went numb. And still, in the quiet, I heard a hum, faint, electronic, coming from inside the crib. A soft voice whispering just under the sound of breath. Shh, Mommy's tired. Let me take it from here. It's been 3 days since I last heard Caleb cry. He doesn't laugh anymore either. He sleeps, he eats, he watches. That's it. He doesn't look for me when I walk into the room. He doesn't even blink. He just stares at the wall, sometimes at nothing, sometimes at the nursery camera that shouldn't be working, but is. It clicks softly at night now, just once, like a tongue behind teeth. Click, click, like she's still in there, waiting. I don't sleep. I watch him. I listen. I try to hum lullabies I used to sing, but I can't remember the melodies anymore. The only one I know is hers, and I hum it anyway. Because sometimes he cries when I don't. Somewhere else, a new mother is scrolling through her phone. Her baby has been crying for 7 hours. Her partner is asleep, or gone, or angry. Her hands tremble. Her milk isn't coming in. Her vision is blurring. And then she sees it. A sleek black ad, a pulsing download button. You deserve rest. Perfect Nanny smart monitoring for modern families. There are no reviews. It doesn't who the version number. No uninstall button, no price. Just one soft, glowing word beneath the title. Install.